All right, folks, welcome back to the MLG Arena, where we are in the midst of the Counter-Strike Global Offensive America's Minor Championship. We've just gotten through our first best of one. Enemy sneaks, I won't say sneaks through, a little bit of a challenge at the end, but obviously they do what they're supposed to do. They win the first matchup. Now we're going to move on to Splyce GG taking on Leader-1.
Yeah, and this is one of the games I think is actually going to be not quite close, but I think it's going to be the closer game than we're going to see. That anomaly with enemy notwithstanding. I feel both of these teams are kind of... Like, I'm not really sold on the Dogman lineup as a top-tier American team. I can't really feel it. There's players in there that I know from other teams that we were just talking about, Professor Chaos off camera and his time in Elevate and whatnot. But I feel that this has the potential to perhaps see the underdog maybe come out looking respectful.
So the Splyce lineup is one that's sort of been floating around the very, very low end of a lot of the professional leagues for some time, sort of just barely escaping relegation in the ESL ESA Pro League. I actually don't remember if they managed to escape relegation this season or not. They did it last season. They've changed their name so many times and whatnot. The roster's been changed. Like, there's been a core 3 that's stuck around, and one of them has just rejoined them for this event. That's Davey now, coming back from his time on Method. But for the most part, these guys have just been swapping out so many players here and there. And I talked about this in the pre-show too. That just cannot be good, like, at all for a team trying to build itself to a high-tier professional NA standard. Yeah,
and you're coming up against people that actually, by contrast, looking at the roster, they've been together for quite a while, and I feel that's always dangerous, when people are comfortable playing with each other and you're like looking around and like, hey, you just come back in the team and Splyce are the ones that should be winning this game. They're the ones with a bigger reputation. So I think this is a potential banana skin.
Yeah, and as I mentioned in the pregame, they have Garrett Bambro, or Gert, GRT, however you want to say it, from back in the day. He is transitioned into a full-time coaching role for them in that sense. Right now, he said he's not in-game leading. He's more mid-round or in between, giving intel, not being the cheerleader manager type either. But he said eventually he will be the sixth man, especially now when we're seeing more and more tournaments allow a laptop, a true sixth man, so he can hear, he can see. He's not just kind of pacing behind. So again, we'll see how they do. Any idea on maps that either would like or dislike?
I would say pretty strong chance we won't see Inferno again. As both these teams have had a preference to not go for it based on their plays in the qualifier. But beyond that, again, another one, Cobblestone. A lot of those very team-centric heavy maps are ones that I don't think we'll be seeing. So you're probably going to come down to, I would say, like Dust 2 Cash left in the pool, and then one more in the mix, and that could be completely random based on what the teams decide they want to get rid of.
Yeah, this is going to be Pug Central. I think the maps where you need coordination, timing, and all that, people are going to remove them. I think that makes sense. And yeah, you're going to see a lot of Dust 2 and a lot of Cash, almost certainly. And of course, the randomizer could throw in a few curveballs, but they're going to leave those types of maps in the pool, I think.
And the veto is about to start for us, but again, so just a reminder of how that works. No one picks a map. You just basically each get to ban 2 maps. It leaves us 3 maps in the pool that are randomized, and one of those comes out to be our map. The way the whole process starts is with a coin flip. The winner of the coin flip has a couple options at their beck and call, if you will. They can either decide if they ban first or second and start that process, or they take the second and the other team goes first, and then they will get the side choice of the map.
Yeah.
So kind of a little bit of strategy there. Do we care about the ban, or do we care more about whatever map it is having that side choice?
Yeah, I mean, it's a factor, but I think the important thing, like you're saying, this is how everyone has to play it on day 1, and probably is a little bit of day 2 as well. Just get the bans going and ban out the map short week on.
So you guys called it. Inferno goes away. Mirage goes away. Cobble goes away. And let's just see what Splyce is.
So Train's got to go, surely.
And again, whatever's left over will be randomized for us, and that will be the map.
Like we said before, it's all those very team-focused maps that are getting knocked out of the pool right now. Train, I actually think that there is a small chance that could be left in, and it was, however, not going to end up being picked. As you saw before.
I think that
the ultimate pug map of
about
North America.
Overpass has to go, right? Yeah. So yeah, you're right. And then of course we get Dust 2, which is exactly what I think both of these teams would have wanted. It's nice, open. It's the pug map. It's about hitting your shots and who can aim better on the day, and that really plays to Leader-1 here, I think, rather than Splyce, because I don't think there's a lot of difference between these two teams, just talking about in raw ability.
Now, something interesting that I want to bring up here is more of a question of who's going to be taking over the opping role for Splyce.
Yeah.
Because they had a player before that was on the roster during the qualifiers, Wabbit, who was actually a really good opper, and we saw him playing in some of the North American teams over the past couple of months. Unfortunately, as we mentioned before, he stepped away from Counter-Strike now for personal reasons. But they brought in some new talent. The big question, though, is that who's going to take over that role?
Is it going to be Professor Chaos, you think?
Now, that is one thing that I think may happen with what I saw in the qualifiers, but they also, if I remember correctly, assuming nothing has changed, they also have Arya on this roster as well.
Right.
Who's done quite a bit of sort of lower tier North American opping in the past and is quite proficient at it, but based on what I saw in the qualifiers, it seemed like it was Professor Chaos picking up most of it, which is a bit strange. Granted, again, the last time I actually watched Arya actively was quite a few months ago, so he could have changed to a rifler since then. But we'll have to wait and see. That's going to be something to keep an eye on.
You got any of these two rosters, like standout players, stars to watch out for?
Yeah, actually, on Leader-1 specifically, Josh BM, I think, is one player that I'm really excited to see how he performs here on a big LAN now. Specifically, watched him quite a few times in Premier last season on ESEA, and he was doing a really good job. And in fact, you just look at their record, he's probably the most consistently dominating player in their online matches.
Need your glasses,
now.
old man?
Yeah, no, sorry. No.
Sorry. I got to get him in when I get in.
Yeah, you're calling me an old man. What is this? Sorry, go on.
That's where the homework pays off.
Yeah.
So I actually have stuff to talk about. So, but one of the big things is that, again, you look at their online matches, most of the time he's at the top of the scoreboard. He's acting as one of their big shots. However, again, how does this transition to a LAN performance? Because I can't recall, at least in my eyes, any time we've actually seen him bringing this to a LAN. So that's going to be an interesting factor.
I seem to recall Flash Step from Leader-1 having some good games and some matches that I watched with this team. And I'm trying to think who it was against, but I remember anyway. It's locked in the funk of my brain somewhere. Where he had a few pretty good performances and posted some big numbers. So I think he could be someone to watch out for. Certainly on the few games I've seen of this team, he's been a standout player for them.
And I didn't specifically ask you for the first best of one, but because obviously you were both going with enemy. Predictions on this one?
Ooh, it's a toughie, because with it being Dust 2, I think we get a lot of rounds out of this one. I don't think anyone's going to pull up front. I don't know, like 16-13 to Splyce-ish, dependent on side.
I would agree on that. I think it's a little bit more dominant, though. I would say more 16-11 around there for Splyce.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that the overall talent on that team is a little bit more consistent across the board. So I think that
Are you old enough to drink yet?
What?
You old enough to drink yet?
2 months, man.
Oh, brilliant. There we go. Well, get you a beer on your birthday then, if you're right. All right. There you go.
All right. You don't want to drink with him. He's dangerous.
Start him young, kids. That's what we do.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Again, the map is Dust 2. It is going to be Leader-1 taking on Splyce GG. Walking you through this one is Vansili and Moses. Take it away, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, guys. We're going to get ready for the map between Splyce and Leader-1. The map is going to be on Dust 2. Man, does it good to be back. Feels good to be back on this chair.
Does it?
With you.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to walk through it. We might just sprint right through it after that first match was quick.
Yeah.
But this one I think is going to be a little bit closer. Splyce, the Pro League team, some very well-known names if you follow the pro scene in North America. But on the other side, I mean, there's not as much of a discrepancy in terms of skill. I mean, these guys are in some premier players.
Yes.
We've seen them have some really good matches, even against professional talent in North America. So this could be very interesting.
What will be interesting as well is that actually Fox was originally with what Splyce was, what Splyce is now. So it's his chance to a little bit get of a revenge against Arya and Jason R. But we're quickly starting things off here with Splyce on the T side, composed of Arya, Davey, Professor Chaos, Abe, and Jason R. As they're going to have a quick push inside B. Fox waiting for them, getting the first headshot right now, but quickly traded off by Jason R. Verdi playing a little bit more passive right now, waiting for his team to support him on a retake.
He's also got a quick flank. The boost up catwalk is going to allow that. Professor Chaos spots out, not able to slow it down though. And actually now they've got to take care of him. You can see the terrorists coming back into the tunnel, so Verdi's taking the chance to get through the window, and he gets that kill down to a 2-on-2.
Bomb has been planted, though. They're going to go for that fake plan first because they do not have a kit on the CT side. Arya and Professor Chaos both inside the hallways in a great flash, but Verdi long range trades it out with a nade and a P2K to get the first round here for Leader-1.
Really, really nice pistol round there from Leader-1. That fast flank through Splyce, and they didn't know really how to respond to it. With that flank coming in so quickly, they have essentially just evacuated the bomb site. And that's what gave Verdi, I mean, he comes through the window, gets that kill, he gains a foothold into the retake for the rest of his teammates. And then the spots are switched.
Yes.
Where it's, Splyce has once again got to retake that B bomb site, but just some really nice shots landed by Leader-1.
Great thing as well for Leader-1 is that they set up for trades as well. They didn't take those 1-versus-1 fights. They really moved in as a group. That's why even PC, when he saw that flame towards that B tunnels, he was still up against two guys from the CT side. Looking at it so far, though, they are going to go on this force buy for Splyce with an AK drop. We've seen this a little bit now. It's starting to become a little bit more common for NA.
Yeah, this used to happen all the time in 1.6 way back when, but now these AK in Davies' hands, he's going to have the long pit, so they've got that map control. And look at Josh, he's pushing up. This is very, very aggressive. He's going to find some people, but they're waiting for it. They spot him out, and actually 3 members there able to swing wide. They gain the advantage into this round, and with the AK as well, now they've got a chance here to really cause some havoc.
At least there's some information given. They saw that it was a buy. Maybe he saw that AK at the same time. No, because Davies actually inside the pit with the AK-47. But getting that information on top mid, you could see that push coming in from the CT side, from B tunnels as well. We are going to commit towards this A site for Splyce, with Charges holding out at the catwalk. Nice flash, but it blinds both of them, actually. Now they get a full cross from Splyce, all inside the A bomb site. Can Char get it done? No, he gets picked by Arya long range.
Yeah, that flash was brutal, but look at this. Splyce is just wreaking havoc. They're destroying this bomb site until finally Fox and Flash Step coming up catwalk. The bomb is planted, but Abe's got to hold out a little bit longer now. Just waiting in the bomb site. Davies here as well.
They do have crossfire. Davies playing out playmaker. Now he's going to be the last man standing as Abe burns down. At least the bomb is not really planted for him, so he's going to have to go long range here. Now he gets the first headshot onto Fox. It's down to a 1 versus 1 situation. He's got 11 HP. Now the smoke comes through as well, but at least I think he saw him before the smoke actually blew. He's not connecting. Finally gets the headshot, and that's going to end it 1-1, tied up. But at the same time, a lot of heavy investment here, Moses.
And you can hear him shouting out, at least I hope you can hear him, but that's Davey getting a little bit loud, that AK-47 doing some work at the end there to win that. And that was a little sketchy trying to find him in the smoke, but either way, sometimes you're going to see like the CT team here, they just lose the second round. If they're going to buy right back into it, they don't want to give up the advantage, but they're going to go upgrades of pistols, no armor. There is 2 MAC-10s on the terrorist side, so they're just going to try and build up a huge bank. PC is going to be the offer. Also, he's not buying anything. He's just got the Glock and armor, so here they are in just a fast-paced B-rush, not letting themselves get picked off by anything weird. And Leader-1, they have a full long flank going on right now.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we did see on the overhead view, or should I say on the minimap, 3 of them pushing long, just trying to get some pickoffs there. So it was a gamble. They tried to go for that hold. Not really any holds towards middle as well. They're going to try to get something against Arya, but he's holding strong there with the AK-47. Flawless victory for Splyce GG. One thing to add here, Moses, Davey actually left this team earlier on, maybe half a year ago, to go play with Method. Now he's back. Good thing for him, too, to come out with a team that could actually participate in this minor championship.
Yeah, he did actually play the last season with a different team, so he has come back into the fold. And he actually, I've had a couple conversations with him where I've mentioned he's been playing this lurking style, and I've always told him, I'm like, dude, you're much better geared at being an aggressive player. Stop lurking, get into a more active role in this team. And he sent me like a tweet, smiley face, like, you're gonna like my new role in this team. I'm gonna be aggressive. So we'll see how it pans out here, but so far so good. Another just full-blown B-rush on the anti-eco, and they wipe everyone out.
Exactly. This is a double save going in for Leader-1 right now. They get another plan for Splyce, adding more economy to the bank, at least for the planner. If they lose it, which is not going to be the case at this point, it's a 5 versus 1. They can add more for the team. Nice shot there by Josh BM, but Abe was already lit up there by pushing down through those mid-double doors. He's going to look for some exits, still being hunted at the same time. Would you think this is actually a good thing to do right now? Because you know that they're going to be on a double save. They wrecked the B bomb site. There's a low investment coming in for Leader-1 as well. Would you actually try to go on a hunt to actually risk a gun?
With your MAC-10s, absolutely. Send them out and try and get some of that bonus money. You're more than likely going to be upgrading into the next round anyway. But here's the real thing. PC has his AWP, but Leader-1, one-ups him a little bit there with, Fox and Verdi both have an AWP into this round. So switching to that double sniper setup, which we see very, very frequently on Dust 2. You're going to play 1 in B and 1 over towards long.
This is such a heavy investment. At the same time, though, and it doesn't pay off. Fox, the first one buying the AWP, falls down from the hands of Professor Chaos. Now Verdi, able to retaliate on the other side of the map at least, though. Evens it up 4 versus 4. Kinds of reset things a bit here, but they're still having a heavy pressure on defense towards the A bomb site.
You don't need to take that fight at long. When you have the advantage like that, just to dry peek, I mean, I know he doesn't know there's an opera there, but there's no reason to even test it. If you're not going to have a smoke at that corner or a flashbang from a teammate, you're essentially just allowing Leader-1 to equalize things at a 4-on-4. And now even they have the smart play. The flash that picks up the off goes to B, back towards B. Josh is cheated over towards CT spawn, so they essentially have 3 members here, but it's going to be a free passage into the A bomb site. Verdi can't land the shot. He falls to Arya.
Yeah, it's the CT smoke drop going 2 up on the elbow side, 2 dropping towards CT spawn. They've taken over the A bomb side. They'll get the easy plant coming through as well. Now it's the pulse plant set up for the T side. They do have a 3 versus 3 situation, so it could be good right now for the CT side to go for the retake. Char's holding it very passively to start things off, to give a chance for his teammate to rotate, but he quickly gets picked off.
Yeah, now it's just down to this 2-on-3. And actually, Arya's flanking around him as well. So Josh, he's got to land a shot. No one from Splyce showing themselves just yet. And there it is. Arya from behind, and Jason are swinging out when Josh's recoil is out of control. So that's going to be the 4th round for Splyce, and now they have a good hold on the match. The economy that they invested into a double op setup on Leader-1 side has been shattered, so they're back onto a save. They are going to buy some armor and some upgraded pistols. As this losing bonus builds up, they've lost 4 in a row. So, they're going to be able to buy next round no matter what they choose.
Definitely. It's just going to depend if they're going to try to go for that double op setup again. Maybe it was just a little bit unfortunate for Fox that had a slower spawn on the CT side to get onto that platform. Now, great flash, though, onto that catwalk. Davies going to move in 1 and 2. You called about the aggressive play. Gets more information there with 2 guys on catwalk. And now it's going to be the easy take for the T side to plant inside B, with 1 guy still lurking, though, towards mid, which is going to be Arya.
PC's got to be a little bit careful. One's going behind him. Arya, he's blocking off this flank from catwalk. He grabs the first one, can't do the second. And there it is. Verdi catches PC, not looking. Down to a 2-on-2. They could still actually go for this with this this increased bomb timer if they want.
Thing is, though, after Flash Step did get that kill, he didn't go to pick up the AK-47, so they're going long-range pistols against Abe and Jason R, but they have nothing to work with. They have to go for the body peeks, and they're just going to try to play the bait, but that smoke covers things off. Verdi, at this point, I would fall back and try to pick up that AK up on catwalk, but at this point, he's just looking for exits. Gets the dink. At least gets the kill.
Yeah, it does get 1, but nice play by Splyce to make sure 2 players push that to ensure he can't save any kind of a weapon. So 5-1 now, but good damage dealt by Leader-1 on the eco. And now you see the op once again in Verdi's hands. I don't believe they have money for a double op setup. Or they do if they want to go with light armor, but instead Char's going to go for more utility. Down 1-5.
You know, at the same time, they were able to get those kills with the pistols, but there was so much economy built up by Splyce so far. Yeah, they lost 4, but they're winning 5-1, winning 5 rounds in a row, getting those MAC-10 kills as well. Aggressive push inside B this time, but they do have a heavy hold here. Trey's coming through, and it goes in the upper hand of Flash Step and Leader-1 getting a triple kill. Just like that, it's a 4 versus 1 situation with the bomb down. PC spotted, takes down Josh BM at lower B, but they're now converging. They have spotted him, and he is low as hell.
Yeah, really nice defense there from Leader-1. Flash Step with 3 kills. They lined up for him. So Splyce not doing any kind of finesse, just trying to bully their way into that B bomb site with a very, very fast play. They get punished for it.
Yeah.
So now he's basically got to just wait till the smoke subsides and see if he can pick off Char. I mean, that's going to be the big thing. And here he goes with the peek. Doesn't see him there. Char's just hiding, waiting for any kind of contact. Molotov's going to come out. No one's in that position, though, so it's not going to do much. And the question is Char ever going to raise his head, or is he going to wait for his teammates to call contact?
So patient right now, and Professor Chaos is actually going to go for it. They do have a lot of economy here, so they're waiting for Flash Up to spot first. There you go. Gets the kill.
Yep.
If Flash Up actually spotted him and actually missed that shot, that's where Char could actually peek out and get that kill. So good setup there for the trade, and Leader-1 puts a second one on his scoreboard.
Yeah, try to switch the pace a little bit there, trying to catch him off guard with just a flat-out B-rush, and it doesn't work. Still plenty of money. They had the economy to kind of test the waters with something like that.
Yep.
And now I believe you're going to see something a little bit more typical, a little bit more of a default. On the other hand, they have given up a free AWP, so it's a double op setup on the CT side as well. PC goes for that mid shot, but doesn't land anything. And Davey, once again, just going to throw a flashbang out to try and pressure this defense a little bit, but look at Josh pushed up on catwalk. He gets blinded. That's a really nice flash from Splyce to make sure that Jason R is safe when he comes down, got down those stairs in lower B.
Thankfully there from his angle where he jumped up, he didn't get spotted by Josh BM, who was playing a little bit more forward. So they actually both don't spot each other. That smoke's going to force them to fall back towards the A bomb site for the CT side. So they are setting up for a 2-2-1 actually, putting more defense in that mid, and it's going to be Flash Step that gets the first kill of this round by taking down PC up on catwalk. But the bomb looks like he was committed at first, but is it going to be the fake to go move back towards B? Indeed it is.
Yeah, and he spotted the gun barrel Flash Step, but he gets peeked from mid. He's not ready for that one. All of a sudden, it's just Fox alone in B. Char's trying to do some damage through the smoke, and he does. Bomb has to make its way up there, and they've got to do it quick because the rotations are all on their way in. So even though Davey gets that kill in towards the B bomb site, his teammates couldn't make it in time, and he's basically shut out from this bomb. A nice defense from Leader-1. Davey trying to flash himself through the smoke. He is behind the boxes, but 3 members of Leader-1 here ready to go. It's going to be the offer. He's going to be the first one. Heavy damage dealt. Can't get the kill. And he runs out of bullets.
Taking down my Verdi right after that. I mean, it was good what was going on for a Splyce. They didn't get that control towards mid. They tried to go for that split. Davey actually did get that kill towards B tunnels as well. I think what didn't work well for Splyce was that they actually didn't smoke CT spawn. That left a huge opening right there for Leader-1 to rotate from that from the playmaker inside CT spawn and just prevent them from making it inside the B bomb site.
It was part of that fake. They threw the smoke as if they were going to do a drop strategy towards the A bomb site and just use that as a mid to B smoke. But just one player in CT spawn just basically ruins that. So. Actually, Splyce had a couple of really nice flashbangs to gain catwalk control. The first one to allow Josh to get safe down those stairs in lower B, and the second one to block off Verdi, who is at that angle on catwalk right above sandbags. But from there, they just couldn't do anything with it. I believe it was Fox who found the first pick with those AWPs. So that double op setup finally yielding some results now for Leader-1.
Look at the CTs are set up this time. 3 guys inside B, 1 guy on catwalk, 1 guy at long. They're trying to play the retake inside A, leaving mid open, and Josh BM gets the first kill, but quickly traded out. The 4th Spy coming in for a Splyce. They had 2 Tech 9s, 3 AKs. Now they reset things up a little bit on a 4 versus 4 situation. They force to rotate back towards A. They still have a lot of map control to work with right now for Splyce.
That's a bad smoke on catwalk, so actually Splyce can, really abuse that. There's a big gap in the side of it, but either way, Abe, he has one of the Tech 9s just waiting in middle for any kind of intel. Meanwhile, 3 members of Splyce still just sitting around this catwalk area. They haven't decided where to go yet, but the defense is pretty spread out. Going towards A, they're going to have to deal with this AWP, and here's the mid-B fake. Char's swinging wide. He's getting the intel. He's like, all right, guys, they throw a mid-B smoke, but don't worry about it. Nothing's coming out. He's got to just be a little bit careful as one jumps up on the box, and he wins that battle against Davey. So now it's going to be on Fox. They know they're heading up catwalk.
So Fox waiting there at the ramp. Great flash for them to peek out, but he comes back up as soon as he's unblinded. Another counter flash is coming through, but now he knows one's stuck. Taken down by PC. A little bit mispositioning there going through as Verdi misses a second shot after getting the first one. PC on a 2 versus 1, but the touchdown nade comes through from Verdi. Elise redeems himself from that op shot miss, and now it's going to be 5-4, and they've won 3 rounds in a row to bring this back, Moses.
Yeah, the big thing is Splyce has been buying through these 3-round losses because they had so much bank built up, and they've been buying as this losing bonus builds up. So now they're going to be on a half buy. They have Tech 9's armor. They have some utility as well, but they're really only going to have 1 round of a decreased, arsenal to work with. Next round they'll have the AKs right back out. But Leader-1 making a good comeback here, almost evening things up, and fast long play for Splyce. Verdi's here with the op, not blind. That last flash gets him, but he lands the shot anyways, and Josh close up with the SMG. They combine for 4 quick kills.
Well, Davey's going to be the last man standing. Not only is he lurking, but at least he's playing it very aggressively. You can see him running around, not really playing patiently. He wants to catch him off, and look at that drop. Instant headshot onto Fox as well. Picks up the M4. It's a 4 versus 1. He won't be able to do more than that.
That's brutal.
We tie up 5-5, but it was actually a good gamble as well. Josh BM went for an MP9. And probably didn't have enough money for a rifle, but they knew the money situation for Splyce right now. They knew it was going to be a save round coming through as well. So that's $600 a kill. You're adding more into that. And they're just looking good so far coming back into this game.
Yeah, and importantly, not taking too much damage. Only losing 1 player, so their economy is still pretty strong right now. They have 3 members over 5,000, and here's the buy again out of Splyce. 4 AKs and AWP on PC. Jason's going to go for the quick long play. He gets completely blinded, but it's already made it to blue bin. Everyone's completely blind. 1 member in pit. The Molotov comes out. That's going to force him out of position, but Verdi not able to land that shot. They've got to delay just a little bit longer, but this is a good hold so far for the CT team. Even that repeat not working out, and Char finally gets a kill.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake for him to re-peek. Luckily there, he only got legged or something like that there for the Opper. Now they're still trying to commit towards this long, but so many counter nades coming through. They're going to be forced to fall back. At the beginning of the round, the CTs played it very aggressively at long, and now they're going to try to reset back towards T-spawn.
That's actually a huge win. I mean, even without the kill, so much utility was just used by Splyce to gain control of long, to gain control of pit, and they got locked out. They just got pushed far away, and now look at the aggression in these B tunnels from Flash Step. He's leading point, and all of Splyce is about to run into this.
Well, Fox is also checking with the AWP. Instantly headshotted by Jason R. They're going to try to move in now. Flash Step going to have to go for a counter flash, but decides to switch back to his gun. Picked off by Jason R. And now the B-bomb side is open. Josh BM, who has rotated all the way back from A, has no utility to work with, so the B site is now open for business as they have a 1-minute advantage for Splyce GG to get this bomb plant, and it's now the time to play the retake for Leader-1.
Yeah, they might just get locked out here. This is a terrible way for this round to turn for Leader-1. It looks so good initially. Even a Molotov blocking off the window now. Verdi's got to smoke it out. Arya's going to get that first kill, and so does Jason R. And it's just down to Verdi with the op. He's got no option but to save it.
Well, Spartan move here for Splyce to just hunt out and move out towards the B site. Now he's going to try to fall back towards the lower B side, but he's closed in from lower B as well. Op shot missed, going for the knife, but then Professor Chaos going for almost a 180 MLG no scope.
Yeah, not too bad, not too shabby. I was hoping he'd really get that knife. That would have been absolutely sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. That played out so well for Leader-1 initially. It was that aggression into B tunnels. They had the intel that there was at least, three members of Splyce at long. It was just that push into B tunnels came a little bit late, and it was very slow. It wasn't a very decisive push into those upper B tunnels, so they get caught out. That's just a little bit unfortunate. I liked the call, but just executed a little bit too slow.
Now what do you think this time? Oh, that op shot should have connected. Verdi takes him down. I wanted to ask you at the beginning. 2 ops set up this time for T side. Do you think it's viable on Does 2?
It is viable. There is one down right now. It's not looking too good, but yeah, definitely. I mean, this is the thing. You can get a lot of picks with that. You can, this 1 kill from Davey forces rotations. If you have the ops in the right position, you can really, really punish him. But either way, now it's kind of slowed down. 2 members over towards B for Leader-1, 2 towards A, 1 at long and 1 in the A site. So great mid control for Davey, who takes the chance to peek out, but he doesn't win that battle. He doesn't do any damage whatsoever as well. Josh ends that quickly, and now they can concentrate on B tunnels as Verdi has picked off 1 on Catwalk. So Splyce not grouping up, going for very spread out in the mid round, and they're getting punished for it.
Well, they're going to have to try to win this 2 versus 1 now, a 2 versus 2 inside the B bomb side, but Josh BM still holding it from outside B. Good smoke for Splyce to start things off, though, to try to cover out those doors to focus more on that platform. But unfortunately, he's going to be the last man standing. 3 versus 1. Josh BM still going to work. So playing that passive mid did pay off on their side. But again, no smokes were actually thrown towards CT spawn to try to connect and take control of that B side. So they tried to play for basically the aim map for Davey, which didn't pay off.
Yeah, and once again, just punished right back onto the save for Splyce. So they went on a good run to start this out. They were up 5-1. But they've just been getting pummeled now. It's been, 5 of 6 rounds going towards Leader-1. So Splyce has got to figure something out. They're back on the Tech 9s. They do have 1 smoke and some flashbangs to work with, headed towards mid right now, but it is a heavy mid-B setup with 1 member. That's going to be Char in towards CT spawn, and they're just going to, stomp their way up Catwalk. Well, Verdi here with the AWP. No smokes, no flashbangs to block him whatsoever. It's a turkey shoot, and he's got 2.
Bakak takes 2, trying to go for a 3rd. Flash now, or should I say a smoke inside the bomb site. At least they get the bomb plant. They get the headshot as well until Josh BM and Arya going long range there onto too long. Headshot onto Verdi as well. 3 versus 3, chop into spawn. These guys are ruthless right now for Splyce. They don't stop moving right now, and they're catching them off guard.
We've got to be careful, though. The bomb's not planted for anyone to be down there whatsoever, so this could just be a free defuse from FlashStep. He's got the kit as well, and he's just going to stick it. I don't think there's a single chance Splyce has at stopping this right now.
Though.
They do boost up, but can't find it whatsoever, so the drops, the SWAT play looks so good, but it backfires very quickly. Nice job from Leader-1.
Yeah, the aggressive play actually didn't turn into their favor after all for Splyce. Yes, indeed. They had a great plant for Catwalk, but nobody really set up for that. I think they heard them coming up on Catwalk at the same time, though, for Splyce, but it just didn't have that boost or the angle well enough to actually go for that spray after that defuse coming through. So unfortunately for that, it's going to be Leader-1 retaking the lead here of this matchup, winning that pistol round to start things off, losing 5 in a row, but now finally coming back to make it a 7-6 score here on this first half.
Much slower paced round here from Splyce. Working their way through lower B. Davey's going to smoke off mid. Josh is waiting for anyone to come out, but he's not going to see anything so far. So there is good mid control from Splyce right now. They have a lot of different ways they can manipulate this. They know they're going to encounter an op over towards the A bomb site. That's what they've been facing every single time they've gone there.
Yeah, more of a default that we have right now, as you can see from that mini-map. It's a 2-1-2 setup from the CT side. Easy to rotate from B as well to focus on that mid, and then possibly playing for that retake towards A if Verdi cannot hold here from the playmaker. And it's exactly what Splyce is going to do right now. They're probably going to try to go for that drop again. Indeed, we already saw one guy moving through, setting up for that trade. Great job there. Worth the sacrifice there to drop Jason R. Professor Chaos watching that flank. Dropping the first one, cannot see the second, but they are well set up here for Pulse Plant.
Yeah, and FlashStep, that's a nice lurk from Abe, biding his time really well. FlashStep, you got nothing left to do. You might as well just save this gun. Nade lands are right on you. Yeah, get away with that in the last round, but Abe's not going to let it happen. Really, really good trade coming off Catwalk for Splyce there. Jason R gets dropped by Verdi with the op, but he gets killed immediately afterwards. It was a nice job staggering flashbangs as well. It almost seemed like Verdi dodged 1 or 2, or they didn't blind him too much, but it was like the 3rd and the 4th flashbang hit him hard.
Yeah.
So now into this last round, I mean, there's one M4 bought on Fox and some good utility, but the rest of it is just deagles and pistols.
Exactly. Despite what we saw, a nice comeback coming in from Leader-1. They actually lost this one here, spent a lot of economy, because I think if we're looking through, they probably lost a lot of players throughout the rounds as well, not giving them enough economy for this last round at the first half, giving the advantage for Splyce to move out and take the lead in the first half. But They did play it aggressively on Catwalk. They did get some information. They lightly damaged Davey. But it seems as though they might be set up for this A take, or the CTs might know it could be a mid to B. So knowing that B tunnels should be clear for a bit, they're looking to focus back towards an A side retake.
It looks like it's just going to be another A execute. They know they're not going up against AWPs. They know that the economy is so weak. The good thing for Leader-1 is that despite having upgraded pistols, they have a lot of nades to work with. They have these smokes to block off Catwalk. They have some flashbangs for the counter flashes when the executes come in. And they're even doubled up on long, but there's only one member there, and Abe can slow play that this whole round. So once again, a lot is on Verdi's shoulders.
Yes. This time he's playing it slightly differently. He's actually playing on the A ramp. Only with the Deagle can he turn this off into a silver op. First off, one drop it inside the CT spawn. He does get the headshot, cannot connect on the second one. So A side is now open. Davey watching the flank. Nice smoke there to cover it up and getting the easy kills. Now it's a 3 versus 2, but they salvage an AK out of that one for this retake as the bomb is now planted for Catwalk.
Yeah, Jason R, nice kill. Same with Davey, and now it's just down to Fox with no HP. He gets eliminated. It looked like it was a chance there for Leader-1 since they still maintained long control after taking an Abe out. But from there, it just gets cleaned out. So a good round or a good half from Splyce. They started out really, really strong. They had a rough patch in the middle, but to win those last two, that's pretty key. So it does end 8-7 in the favor of Splyce heading into the CT side.
It took a little bit of a time for these guys to come back too, because if you're looking at the scoreboard, I'm just going to look at the scoreboard right now. Arya was at 18 and 11. Two of his teammates were still at the single digits until they came back. Jason R and Davey with 11 kills. You do see two players or one player from each team that actually really stepped up. On the other side, playing CT side, Verdi at 20 and 9 here.
It was like the battle of Arya versus Verdi in that first half. I mean, they both played really, really well, carried their teammates through some stretches, and you could kind of see it. It just kind of juggled over who had economic control at the time. You know, once each team was able to get their ops out, they were pretty dominant. You saw Splyce in the beginning, and then Leader-1 took it over, and then Splyce finally responded there at the end. But a good first half from both teams heading forward.
Well, let's look at it from Splyce's point of view. We talked about it a bit. We saw the match, how it turned out on the first half. A lot of Catwalk executes into this A bomb site. We didn't see many splits towards B as well from mid to B. They did take B the first few rounds after winning that eco, but why do you think these guys decide to take Catwalk so many times?
I think they got turned off by it, to be honest with you. That B rush, I thought maybe just demoralized them a little bit. Also, they did try a mid-B split at one point. They tried the fake off Catwalk, but it didn't work out whatsoever. So, yeah, they didn't really put too much pressure on it. When they did, they got shut out. You saw Davey one round in a 4-on-4, tried to lurk out mid and try and get a pick towards B, and he just got dominated by Josh. So, I mean, why go back at that when the A stuff is you're getting some success there? I mean, even they might have even been able, if it wasn't for that one round where there was that sneak defuse in the smoke, I mean, they could have had a much bigger half out of that.
Yeah, so a little bit of a miscommunication because of that round. It is actually a closer first half, 8-7 in favor of Splyce as we're now switching sides. It is going to be Leader-1 on T side, composed of Verdi, Josh, Fox, Flashstep, and Char. Versus Splyce right now, we went through the roster rundown on their side. And pistol round, looking at it here, looks like they're going to maybe set up here for a long take, but playing it very passively. What's your take on such a passive play on a pistol round for T side?
It's not bad at all, especially when you see you're just making sure you're not being caught out by anything. You're not really losing too much, but now Fox spots aggression on Catwalk. He knows one's peeking mid as well. Doesn't know the extent of this Catwalk aggression, but just testing the waters. And now that they know that they're playing Catwalk, they can come out long, but Fox isn't ready for that kind of aggression from Splyce, and now they've got to hustle up. They have no map control anywhere else. This is their only play they're able to make. They're going to run through these smokes, but Davey's going to be here. Can he stop anything? He's caught out in the open. He has nowhere to fall back to, but he does get one. Verdi falls. Even though that kill is traded off down to a 3-on-3, Arya's going to try and get sneaky, and he's punished from the side.
Funny thing here is Char has a Tech 9. I'm pretty sure they went for a raid boss to start things off for the T side. They've taken over this A bomb site. Char probably picked it up after his teammate fell down, but the bomb is now planted for long. The retake's trying to come through. It did start well for Splyce, but now it's looking a 3 versus 1 with Abe the last man standing, now a 2v1. Josh is actually lit, but they have a great crossfire set up for this terrorist team. Good flash to move up. Lots of noise being made. He has to act quick because he does not have a kit. And at this point, salvage a few nades. I don't think
he salvaged a smoke and a kit. Oh, but Flash Step grabs him just before that smoke plume, so that could have been a little bit scary if he was able to get on that.
Yeah, I don't even think he had time at the same time as well, though, for Abe. Nice try, but the round comes in for Leader-1. They win this pistol round. They even it up again 8-8. And now we're going to have to see if the CTs of Splyce are going to decide to go for this. Usually we see a 5-7 armor buy, but looking at it so far, it's just going to be pistol upgrades.
I mean, this just tells you, you know, they don't really have, maybe not have a plan into these second rounds if they want to buy. They're not content with just setting up in a default with upgraded pistols. Also, it might tell you that they want to go for a heavy op setup, maybe 2 ops right off the bat. Either way, Abe gets aggressive up in the B tunnels. He gets punished, but no more aggression from Leader-1, and that's smart because Splyce has rotated 3 members towards the B bomb site after that 1 contact.
The only mistake right now, a good play right now for the CT side to stack up towards B. One guy lurking towards long, but middle, catwalk, everything is open. So because of that, you see the T stream through towards the mid double doors. At least Davies able to take down the bomb carrier. Now he's going to go head-to-head against Josh BM, but he's going to fall back towards A to get the bomb plant. Meanwhile, Arya is going to flank from behind, cannot connect for the kill, but at least gets traded off by Davey. And a nice one-tap onto Verdi as well. So a triple kill, 2 versus 1. He does salvage a Galil. He does not have armor to work with, but at least it's against 2 MAC-10s. So let's see what happens with that. Meanwhile, we did see, let's go radial style. We did see them flash back towards that, or should I say a decoy, sorry, towards the barrels to move back towards the A bomb site. Now welcome back. As now Josh BM and his teammate are both set up here at Goose side. Davey gets another nice one. He's looking for maybe the ace, turns around, cannot connect, but man, that is a great save for Splyce. They only went for a pistol upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, well, Davey's just a beast there. That round is just all Davey. They didn't really do anything special. He flanks, he catches Leader-1 not watching out for it, and he goes huge. So. That's I mean, you could just see the aim, you know, the things he's able to do, and that's part of the reason why I told him, you know, just get aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, stop being the lurker. Go make something happen for your team. That round he almost pulls it out with 4 kills, but either way, done great economic damage. You can see from the money that's left on this terrorist side. I mean, they have you know 4 members below $1,000.
If they can actually get a few more kills right now for Splyce in this second eco that they're going for, again with only pistol upgrades, except for Davey because he did get 4 kills, can afford the armor and get some information as well. You're going to have forced drops on the round after, and going on a main gun round, you're forcing drops, you're going to be able to get the win if possible, and then you're going to put them on a reset on a possible double save for Leader-1. So great job for Splyce to start things off on that eco in the second round. A huge stack for them at mid, with Davey dying first, getting the information at long. Now Professor Chaos first, headshot spotting 2 more at the T-spawn. But it's going to be Char now sweeping it up and cleaning out the mid aisle. Flash up doing the same thing, and just like that. Only 1 guy that they lose, so not so bad there for Leader-1. But this is going to be an important gun round here for Splyce.
Yeah, they needed a pretty strong win there with, you know, not losing too many players after that second round. So that's good that they get out of that with only 1 player falling. Still, the money's not great. They do have an AWP in Verdi's hands, and on the other side, it is just 1 op and Professor Chaos. So we'll have to see what he can do with that. And he's going to head out towards long with it, just a standard setup initially. Verdi doesn't even take the shot. He spots 1 jumping across, but he doesn't fire. And there's PC, just firing a bullet into the smoke, but they know it's a long execution. The pop flash is going to come out. No one's been able to be found yet because Jason R gets completely blind. They've got to fall away from long. They can't even battle for it whatsoever. It's too late now, but Davey is stuck over towards cars.
Gutsy play there for Jason R to start things off inside the smoke. At least he stays alive. And I think seeing Fox and Flash step so low right now was probably some nade damage, because I didn't see a lot of firing going on from the CT side. You could see that there's not many nades left on the Splyce's roster. So they did try to go for that aggressive long. Now resetting things right now for both teams. Leader-1 are just going to try to focus back on taking control of this middle.
They could be in a lot of trouble with Fox and Verdi going up long because they mollied out the cars. They might think it's clear, but Davey's still there. He didn't take a single point of damage, and PC is going to get that first kill towards Catwalk. Char falls, and there's Davey swinging out wide, grabs Fox. Now they know he's here, but the attack has been whittled down so much. Josh is going to have the angle. No one's watching Catwalk. He gets out for free. Finds that kill. Could get a second one as well. He's opened this bomb site up wonderfully. Just a small mistake out of Splyce, and all of a sudden the bomb site is open.
Actually, that's a huge mistake. No communication there at the same time as well. You had 1 guy watching Lawn, 2 guys playing at Elevator, all looking towards Long because they knew Verdi was with the up-on platform. So a little bit, they should have said somebody needs to keep watching Catwalk. Professor Chaos did a great job to start things off.
Yeah, I'm glad you corrected me. That is a huge mistake, and that can't happen. Either way, the retake looking pretty decent so far. Josh is in the corner, though. He grabs that one. No one's there to trade the kill. They all jump down. Now they've got a crossfire with Verdi with the op in the pit, and this round's over. Abe's just got to run away. So a couple mistakes here in this round, 2 in 1 round, and Leader-1's going to get away with it.
Yeah, the first mistake, we just mentioned it. Well, Abe just trying to stay alive. Let's see if he's going to be able to. He should make it safely back towards T-spawn from B tunnels. But the big mistake, we talked about it, not watching that catwalk. The second one, they all focus up towards long. They lose 3 guys, and the guy that they've initially wanted to kill, which was Verdi, or Virtus, up on the platform at long, he stayed alive the whole time. So that gave a chance there for Leader-1 to actually get the bomb plant for long as well, and just set up the great crossfire from Josh BM at Goose, and with the omp from Verdi at long.
Yeah, that drop down's brutal when that kill comes out. Abe's not there to trade it, so it's just, just gets to sit there and chill. Now PC with the op, he's got to do some work, although Davey pushes up catwalk. Fox completely blind, but here come the teammates to trade things out.
Wow.
Jason R once again finishes off Josh, and it's down to a 4-on-3. They haven't been able to salvage any of the AK-47s. Arya now spots him very close to crossing long. That flashbang might help out, but ill-advised peek, and Verdi punishes that as well.
Well, at least you have Professor Chaos inside CT spawn. That shot somehow did not
He's gotta
connect.
hit that shot.
Oh my god, and now Verdi clears it up, gets another one here, clears out the A-bomb site. Jason R now LMS, last man standing, gets the molly to try to prevent them for the plant and bring this on a 1 versus 1 in type of a fight. They do have 2 guys up at the A ramp, but 1 guy is still playing on the other side at the playmaker. I don't think Jason R could get anything done there, but at least something that you could give away here for Splyce is the way that they're actually setting up for the flash peaks. The way that they controlled up towards that catwalk, they went for flashes for a peak, another flash for a peak, and then set up for trades as well. It's just maybe mid-round after that, and that was the mistake coming through after.
Yeah, it's just Verdi just wrecking them.
Mm.
That's what it's coming down to right now. I mean,
Yeah.
that was not only that, punishing Professor Chaos for missing that shot, but that second shot on catwalk was very, very quick.
It seemed really on him, though.
Yeah. So, well, it happens.
CSGO.
Still, you have to hit that shot if you're. I mean, you have a 3-on-3 in that kind of an eco round, and you're losing 11-8. You've got to hit that shot. And he does it. So once again, another mistake gets punished. Char's even hunting down this remaining player of Splyce, and Jason's not going to get away with it. It's flash step from B Tunnel, who grabs it right at the last second. 12-8, nothing going right for Splyce, and they have to get things started here. They have to get right back onto the board into this round,
Oh, yeah.
or else they're in a lot of trouble going forward.
At least the economy was built up on their side, despite them getting a few kills on the eco as well. You see it on the overlay. Still a lot of economy built up on Leader-1's side, so they're still looking good. Splyce probably winning this round if they want to. They actually cannot lose that many
Look at
players.
this aggression into the B tunnels. It's a full B rush for Leader-1, but it's Flashstep who finds the push. It is traded out, but Char's now aware. It's going to be a free plant in the bomb site. And so
Crazy.
Splyce takes a big gamble here, and it's a 4-on-4. Verdi's got to be careful. Davey is going to be flanking down mid, but there it is. The op finds him. Char's still very wary that Abe can come from here, and Jason R, he's Molotov'd out a window, so all of a sudden it's another save situation for Splyce. So they take a huge risk with an unorthodox tactic, and they don't catch him off guard whatsoever.
And that's what I was about to say. If they wanted to win this round, they couldn't lose any players. Now they lose 3. They get a bomb plant for Leader-1 as well. They're forced to save. Of course, Leader-1's going to go on a hunt and try to take him down. But I'm wondering, with that push that you called up, Moses, with them going from lower B or from mid to lower B, is it probably because Verdi was still watching with that op towards T-spawn, saw that push coming through, and it's like, guys, there's 4 mid. Let's just go B, and I'm just going to keep holding mid.
It could have been. I mean, that just seemed like a B-rush out of spawn, to be completely honest with you. All 4 members went that way. It just seemed like they're like, all right, let's just go for it. And wisely, one member went towards lower B just to ensure it. But the real, I mean, that's the thing. The real question is, if you're Leader-1, I mean, you have to send someone B. Even if you're going to do aggression into lower B tunnels, you need to have someone to make that a crunch. You need to have like the second prong of that attack. And they didn't do that, so it was just a free sight for him, and it's such a crucial round as well.
Yeah.
Just a very, very ballsy call from Splyce. It doesn't work out, and now they've called a timeout because back's against the wall now, boys.
Yeah, and at the same time, if you're looking at this timeout, you saw it on the overlay before. We saw Splyce GG on the stream. At the same time, you saw Garrett. A lot of experience from the 1.6 days.
Yep.
A lot of experience from the CGS Source days as well, playing with Optic Gaming. Not Optic Gaming, sorry, San Francisco Optics.
Yeah,
and
get that
now,
right.
now he's actually coming in as a coach for Splyce. What does he bring, though, to the table? Because we never actually seen Garrett play in any big teams or do well and do anything in North America in terms of competing in CSGO.
Yeah, it's just experience in some of these situations. Obviously, playing CGS on those kind of high pressure stages, able to calm them down in this spot where they're probably feeling a little antsy at 8-13. Chance for the major slipping away. It seems like so he's probably just calming them down right now, and just saying we got to relax. We got to hit these shots. We've got them. So they've gotten themselves in some pretty decent situations in a couple rounds, and they're just not winning the situational. So it just once again comes down. Have some patience. Making sure the mental game is going to be there. But really, right now, I mean, this is the scary part because. Most of this half has been Splyce just not winning those situationals, and now that they've been frustrated, they've started to get a little bit flustered. It's looked like now they're just strategically losing it and making some rough calls.
You're losing 6 rounds in a row as well,
Yeah.
and Arya is still the in-game leader and the caller right now for Splyce. Again, it's what Garrett brings to the table so far. it's not been working for them on the CT side.
Here's the thing, Verdi's just being a beast. He's at 27 and 12 right now, so who from Splyce is going to step up and try and match that? It's got to be Davey or Arya. Which one of them is going to be the star player for their team, come up with a huge round and get them back into this?
One thing, though, that I noticed from Verdi in the second half, being the opera for T side, you don't really see him go for openings. Yeah, they're going to try to go for another aggressive push for the CT side here. So actually with rifles, so the buy coming in for Splyce, we'll talk a little bit about it later, about Verdi's play on T side, but then they're going to try to catch him off guard. Does not work. He connects with the first shot, almost catches the second one with a nade in his hands, but misses the shot. At least PC up on catwalk, trades it back, and Verdi still playing at spawn. Now A side is open for business. Abe, just a little bit of misstep there. We'll be able to catch one at least off guard. It's a 3 versus 2. Bomb is planted for long as well. So Verdi is going to make his way back towards platform. At least Arya up on catwalk to support his teammate. Is traded out. So it's going to be Abe 2 versus 1, and Verdi takes him down.
Yeah, he's just a monster. I don't know what okay, so once again they take a big risk with this mid push. They gain mid control of CT and they just push up and they're going for the long flank. Verdi gets that first kill, and the second guy has his knife out, and he's like running away towards mid. And then once again, Verdi just switches back towards suicide tunnel and picks him off, just trying to run away. It's like, kill the guy. Well, like, why are you running away with your knife out? You have this position. This is exactly what you wanted, to push mid, and then you run away and you just give him some kills.
Especially with the op shot missed.
Yeah, so they're giving him so much room to work with, and you can see he's like put the fear of God in them. They don't even want to contest with it anymore.
Verdi the God.
It's insane. Now look at this. Oh, nice shot with the scout. Headshot onto Fox. That's going to end things quickly.
Well, Josh BM is looking for the trade back, and PC says no. Another headshot with the scout, giving them a 2-minute advantage, trying to take down middle as well. But Char loses close range against Abe. The last two guys will have to try to focus towards the B-bomb side, which is a smarter move, because like you said, Verdi has been godlike with the AWP. They're probably going to utilize him to get the opening as well. His teammate came out first, position given away. He's up on a 5 versus 1 at this point with 1:05 left on the clock. He'll probably try to save. Even throw the op away, so even smarter move.
I like it, yeah. Very, very smart. Small little detail that can help out, because now, I mean, they don't get the op, they're going to have to invest into it. He knows there's a very low chance of him winning this, so he might as well just... And this is the thing, too. You could see Splyce. Not to make this comeback, they have to win this and the next round, so they're hesitant to go chasing for this weapon. They've only sent one guy out towards T-spawn. Everyone else is playing it a little bit more passively. Not going to be able to salvage that AWP. And that's really, really smart, because look, they have 5 rifles. There's no chance of any of them upgrading into an AWP this round. So once again, Verdi gives himself an advantage where he's the only one on the server with an AWP.
Well, let's try to bring back the power of the bear there for Splyce to try to come back in this game. But at the same time, you're looking at this now. The money situation that we have for Splyce, they lose this round here. They're going to have to go for a force buy, but they're not going to have much to work with at the same time. So there's not much room for error for this counter-terrorist team so far. Looking, in my opinion, to be upset by Leader-1 coming into this game.
It's looking pretty likely at the moment. 3 members of Leader-1 now have taken over mid-control. They're going to make sure no one's pushing into the upper B tunnels. There's been a lot of aggression out of Splyce in the last few rounds, so
I think it's the whole half.
Yeah, they've got to be pretty wary that this is a possibility just coming out. And even this mid boost, this is the spot for a mid to B split. You can peer over the smoke. It can be a very effective position to hold. But they still have 4 members towards this A bomb site at the moment.
Well, they did smoke out towards that catwalk side, so that's going to slow things down a bit for Leader-1, but you can see them set up to, actually the smoke wasn't up on catwalk, sorry.
This is, you know, you mentioned it, that Verdi hasn't really been trying to provide openings with the AWP. Yes. This is a round where he could, and look, they're going to go for the boost to try and pick him off. That nade hits him right in the head, but it doesn't matter because Verdi responds. A bullet to the head instead of a grenade, and that's going to finish PC. And now the A bomb site is under a lot of pressure.
Lots of mollies there towards the elevator to prevent a rotate coming in from CT spawn, so the A bomb site should be open for business. We still have one lurking towards the long, though. It's going to be Davey. Josh has to win this fight right now. Comes across, Davey gets the kill, so this is going to be a great advantage for them to go for the retake. A little bit of a mistake coming in from Leader-1 right now, because they're jumping up on the ledges to try to get those picks on the rotate, and they're just losing fights because they're coming out on rotates at the same time. Now Flash up at least lurking around, but it ends it on a 2 versus 1. And Splyce are going to get the defuse. They're going to get the op as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you have this flank coming in from flashed up there at the end towards CT spawn, you know, you don't want the aggression to come from that bomb site. You want them to be biding time.
Exactly.
When they're committing to those fights and falling, that just makes that flank that much more ineffective, especially you see him at the end. He gets 2 kills, but the bomb's not planted for him, so he's got to just go, you know, brain dead aggression and expose himself from so many different angles. So a little bit unfortunate there that it doesn't pan out, but you can't be peeking in that kind of a situation. Still, so much money built up on their side. They're ready to go.
Verdi unfortunately cannot connect towards T-side this time, but it's going to be PC that gets the first casualty in this round. The second one, as Fox was slowly blinded, but they didn't see the third guy cross towards that dumpster, and it's going to be flashed up. At least Jason R is there for that trade. Verdi's going to try to get the opening with success. Not to 3 versus 2. Position given away from that smoke coming through, and a flash as well. But that's going to force Verdi to fall back towards that long. He's actually stuck inside the door. Finally, comes back towards T-spawn, but the bomb is down.
If I'm Leader-1 in this match, my strategy is basically, Verdi, you have an AWP in your hand, do whatever you want. Like, find us an opening. He's on fire right now. He's got 32 kills, 32 and 14 in this match. And I'm just saying, you're going to be the one to open things up for us. I don't want anyone else trying to initiate anything unless he's dead.
Yeah. I think one thing that I wanted to add, though, when we were talking about Verdi, the way that he's opping on T-side, is that he spent most of his rounds just opping it from T-spawn. And it's because of the rotations and the aggressive play by Splyce that he's catching him through these mid-double doors, through these pushes, and gives the advantage for Leader-1 to take over his site. Yes, he was able to get an opening when they tried to push 2 rounds ago, but it's really the aggressive play by Splyce that really hurts them at the end of the day. Now they're playing a little bit more passively. You don't see them rotate with these pushes and try to get more information. You sort of see a slow comeback from the CT side.
Yeah, you do, and Char gets caught looking the wrong way. One more smoke into the long cave, and that's when Verdi has the signal. Oh my God, what a shot. Couldn't get a second one off. They do swing on him wide there, and he was caught in the doors, but 14-11 now, and Splyce has made quite the comeback.
That's a dirty stash.
The money is a little bit beat up on the Terrace side. So they're going to have to save now. This is going to be the first time in a long time they haven't had an AWP to work with. Even haven't even had rifles. And it's a double op setup now picked up. Professor Chaos and Aryu with that on the CT side. So Splyce, it was looking dire at 14-8. But now they've made a bid. Now they've got themselves right back into it.
Verdi's got a 33 bomb, but at the same time, I won't discount anything away from Leader-1 with the save that they have coming through because they have Tech 9s. Tech 9s could wreck them, but at the same time, they didn't go for armor as well. So they want to keep that economy for the next round.
This is a good setup as well for Splyce. They had 2 members in mid, 1 in B. So that's to be there to back up any kind of a B rush as well as any kind of mid to B split, which is looking very, very likely with one lurking off catwalk. But there's no smokes. And there's no utility for them to use right now on the terror side. So this isn't going to pan out whatsoever against these rifles, especially now. They're just going to group up in the upper B tunnels, and they're going to run right into Arya's AWP.
Exactly. So it's not only a body peek they're going to have to do with an op towards the platform, but they had 3 guys towards B for Splyce. Now they connect. They're taking them down one by one. They're flash at the same time. Flawless victory for Splyce. PC maybe almost died. But again, great job for them to stay alive in that round there, not forcing any economy loss for Splyce's side. Garrett pretty happy with what's going on so far, as they've won, 4 in a row. So they're coming back into this one after losing 7 on the CT side.
Now into this round, Verdi back with the AWP. And actually, I think they sacrifice... Nope, Char does have an AK-47 as well. So 4 members for Leader-1 over towards long. Look like maybe they want to do some kind of very slow-paced mid-play. They know there's a double op setup, so they got to be very wary coming around these corners. They're not going to get picked. And they are going to head up catwalk. 3 members leading the charge. The op is there as well. Just 1 member flashed up, lurking out towards long. And actually, they're going to come out middle instead of going up catwalk this time. No smoke at CT spawn. Catches Abe off guard. There's no information of this from Splyce. There is an op out towards long, but now with no smoke, Char's going to get that kill on Abe. That's very nice. There's the smoke. 1 member inside B. He's got to be the one to take care of things. Arya, what can you do? Just hiding, trying to wait. And he gets spotted out. Can't get his gun out in time. He legs Fox, but he's down.
With 3 versus 3, at least the bomb is open for business for Leader-1, but they still have plenty of time for Splyce on this rotation. So Davey, Professor Chaos, and Jason are all coming in here from the CT spawn on outside B. Now they split off with Jason R, or should I say Davey's coming in towards lower B. So Josh BM will have to try to win this fight. Spots him right now, but meanwhile, you do have that setup getting ready to overtake the outside B. PC is still trying to opt towards that platform, but a great play by Leader-1 to not give any information and really stick out. Oh, that sucks. Bad molly coming through, but at least he's coming inside the site. Trades coming through as well. Professor Chaos making it a 2 versus 1 situation. Can Josh BM get it done? That's 1 versus 1. Clock is ticking on that bomb. Gets the kill and the clutch. And it's going to be now 15-2. Game point for Leader-1.
I'm shocked that Davey fell away from that one-on-one in B tunnels. He spent a lot of time having to rotate from upper B tunnels, from those stairs all the way outside B.
Yeah.
That's seconds off that clock, and even though there's 5 added to it, you don't have all day. So that retake gets a little bit delayed by that rotation. But still, last chance now for Splyce. Down 12-15. They still have the 2 ops. No op, on the other hand, on Verdi on the terror side whatsoever.
Can't lose any players at all in this round once again. I mean, I'm saying it a lot in this matchup, but you could see how low they've had to work with for Splyce throughout this whole game on the CT side. So at least a 2-op setup might be fruitful for them in this round here, but they can't lose a single player coming into this bit to be split from Leader-1. So JCR playing it from the CT spawn, spotted some information. Arya's going to opt in from B. JCR, oh, I thought he was going to try to push the cross there towards the mid double doors, but we are coming back up on Catwalk, so PC has to step up in this hold.
Yeah, once again, going up against an AWP, misses the first shot, misses the second, and he falls. That's not good. Jason R, what can you do? Nice kill there on the flash step. They take another duel.
Nice.
Chard drops him. 2-on-3. They are getting the bomb planted. It's for Catwalk, and they need to fall back and man that defensive position. Verdi's still in the site. Davy's out towards long, so that could catch him off guard. He's out in the open. In fact, he's looking towards CT spawn. If Davy peeks, Verdi is going to fall, and there it is. Easy kill. 1-on-3 now. Fox has to be aggressive, try and whittle it down, but Splyce is going to win the retake.
Yeah, unfortunate hold there for Professor Chaos, but the teamwork worked in favor of Splyce by getting that counter flash up on Catwalk. Had two guys blinded. Easier for Davy to try to hold up towards that elbow side and also prevent them from overtaking towards that A-bomb site. At least they got the plant coming through for Leader-1. They do not have any economy to work with so far as well. And we'll see what they're going to try to do. They're going to go for a slight pistol buy just to buy evenly. And they're going to play it for the last round of the first map. Or the only map, rather, in this group play.
This is a scary situation, too, because I don't think Leader-1 is going to be able to afford an AWP into the next round. Their economy just gets reset from winning and losing, and it's going to be a B rush. What can they get from it? Running through smoke is Char, but Abe is there. Gets the first two. Can't get the third, but there is already a third member of Splyce here, and Arya just showing off them pistol skills.
Flash tap the last man standing, and he dances to death. A headshotted by Jason R. And like we said, last round of the first half, you mentioned it here, Moses, at the same time. No economy to work with for an AWP. Char, who is the, well, I guess Verdi, who is the opera for L1 as well.
It's all right, though, because Verdi got the entry with an AK last time.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's ready to go. But 15-14 now. Splyce has made an incredible comeback after it looked so dire at the beginning of this second half. Didn't look like they were going to have any skin in the game, and there's a nice start. Professor Chaos coming alive with that op, gets the first pick on the Char.
Even before the smoke blooms, so now Professor Chaos is fully flashed as well, forced to fall back, and look at how passively they're playing this A-bomb side right now, Moses. 3 guys inside B, 2 guys playing towards Pit's side.
Yeah, with the double op setup, this is awkward, that they're giving up the A site, because both ops are over towards B. So the retake is going to be difficult for those ops to manage, and actually, when your opponent's on 15, to give up a bomb site like this for free is
crazy.
Incredible. Although there is no more utility on the L1 side to defend against this retake.
Well, let's see if they got the aim for it to hold it. Verdi is still lurking around the mid double doors. Here's a lot and a huge rotation coming in from the CT spawn. They're greatly set up right now for the T side to try to prevent the CTs from getting to the fuse. Now we're slowly moving up. We're still looking towards long as well. Arya on the rotation, getting the kill at mid double doors. But you still have that lurk, like I said, from Fox. Can he get it done? Crossfire set up at the same time. Josh BM only able to take down 1. And there's that flank. There's that crossfire set up. And now that clock is sticking on the bomb. They're coming in for the defuse. And that is not enough time. Leader-1 wins this matchup against Splyce 16-14.
And that's the thing, you know, a lot of those rounds were just strategic mistakes by Splyce there to give up the bomb site. I hate that call. I hate it with a passion.
You're talking about it, Jason. You said the double op setup.
Yeah, you have 2 ops. You put 1 in A, which they've been doing the whole half, basically. I mean, there was a couple rounds where they did a similar setup, but you know, especially like they were in a 5-on-4 after Professor Chaos gets that first pick, and he goes back towards B. So they have 2 ops on the B bomb site. So now, when they give up, they had no intel that anyone was even in A. So the bomb gets planted immediately. Now you have that long rotation. You have to clear all those corners. You have to clear all the angles. You spend so much time getting over towards that A site, and it's just like. And then the retake comes in, and just one player hiding behind quad boxes just ends your dream. And when you're down 14-15, you've made this incredible comeback to give up a bomb site completely for free is just insanity.
Yeah, that's actually a little bit of a knife right in the side there, as Richard Lewis would like to say. That's how we do it in Birmingham.
is that what he says?
Right in the side. That's got to hurt them right now there for a Splyce GG. But let's talk about the players that really shunned actually in this matchup. I mean, Verdi and Arya on the other side too.
There was no answer for Verdi. Arya played well on his side, but I mean, no one even came close to the level that Verdi was at. He ended with like 35 kills in that match. It was absolutely insane. It was incredible. So really, really good stuff from him. Even like you said, not having. I mean, the first portion of that second half, he wasn't even having to open any sights up. It was, Splyce's aggressive tactics on mid that really fed him some kills.
Yep. Well, overall, you got to say that it was a great game by Leader-1. Good upset.
Yeah.
Would you call this an upset too, Ashley, against Splyce?
Yes, because Splyce is a pro league team and Leader-1 is not. But outside of that, I mean, we mentioned it could be close because of the these were not untalented players on the Leader-1 side.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not over yet, though, at least for Splyce GG. They're moving down to the lower brackets here of this group. But to break it down, let's bring it back to the desk here with Sir Scoots, Richard Lewis, and Blue. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. You guys called it a much closer match.
Yeah.
Back and forth, very tight. But again, in the end, Leader-1 takes it.
Yeah, I really feel like I should have doubled down. I missed a trick, I think, because I knew it was going to be close, and I felt like Leader-1 could do it, but I thought Splyce might just have that slight edge. Now, I'll tell you where it all went wrong, okay? And that is you're 5-1 up, right? Things are going really well for Splyce. They're rolling. Then they decide, hey, we're going to rush B. And they just do a no-respect rush. They get absolutely decimated, mowed down. They lose 4 rounds in a row, give up a bunch of rounds they didn't have to do. Then they lose that secondary pistol, and all of a sudden they're in all kinds of trouble.
Yeah.
Leader-1 definitely did what they had to do, but Splyce made it real difficult for themselves. They got way too confident, way too quick in a game when they had absolutely no right to do that.
And again, Virtus just absolutely going crazy in that game. I don't think
dude.
anyone expects that. He gets, I think, close to 36
I
kills
heard he's
around
the
there.
best opener in NA. He
said
must have got Kusta's juice this morning, you know what I mean?
Kusta's juice.
Yeah, Kusta's juice box. No, but serious, dude, he had a sick game.
Yeah, and the problem is too is again so many of these teams it happens that that one round goes wrong and then everything just falls apart from there. I talked about this earlier with the team. The same thing happened to Leader-1 in the second half too.
Yeah.
They started getting ripped apart in those A site takes, which to give credit where it's due for Splyce. Splyce were actually really good at playing what is in my opinion a fairly difficult retake situation, coming back outside of CT spawn. They did a really fantastic job of finding a lot of those kills there. So everything started to fall apart for Leader-1 in the second half, and they almost ended up losing it and taking it in overtime. Thankfully, that final round, they pieced it back together and were able to buy enough time for the bomb to explode and give them the match.
Yeah, and like you said, that was very close, though. I mean, a perfect setup for the retake on the Terra side of holding it, but again, they started picking them all off, and it was just down to seconds, and then we could have an overtime.
Yeah, that spray down he got right at the end, if he doesn't kill that diffuser, I think they just get it. So absolutely vital final frag, and again, they just played that to perfection.
Yeah,
Credit to them.
Again, so that being said, moving forward will be Leader-1. They will play Enemy tomorrow in the top of that bracket. Dropping down to play EZG is Splyce. So that will also be happening tonight. Just so you know, there has been a slight schedule change. Obey had one of their players yesterday and today not able to get here in time. He had some canceled flights from the airlines, Go Airlines. And so, but they didn't want to drop out of the event entirely. So they've taken their first map loss. So they will drop down as the solo loser in that 3-team group.
Yeah.
Winter Fox gets an automatic win over them, and they move forward, and Winter Fox will play Optic tomorrow, and then the loser of that will drop down to play Obey. So I guess the guy is flying in tonight, and they didn't want to bring a substitute. They could have brought a substitute yesterday, but they didn't want to do that because Valve's rules state, and it's very important, who you play with is who you have to keep playing with. And so obviously they didn't want to lose their good guy just because he missed a flight.
And if anyone thinks that isn't a sensible rule, you've got to do the mental exercise of understanding you could the team could earn a shot, get to a major, and then you just kick them all out and bring in a bunch of ringers, right? And that would suck for the guys. So that's why Valve have done that. They've had similar rules in Dota for a while. It's a very good system, and credit to them for sticking to their guns on that one.
Yeah. So what that does for us tonight is it just changes what we're going to do. One less match for you. We're not going to do that Obey Winter Fox match. That's not going to happen. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back and do that final lower bracket match, or I should say the first lower bracket match of Group B. And then Vansili, or I think it's going to be Launders actually, is going to do a interview with Virtus from Leader-1. So come back after the break.
Join us.
Hey, I'm Launders here at the MLG's major qualifier, the first ever CSGO minor to happen. And I'm here with Virtus from Leader-1, a member of an ESEA Premier team that just took down Splyce, formerly known as Dogmen, who are an invite. Is it a little bit daunting going up against an invite team on LAN?
Not really. I don't really think about who I'm playing when I'm playing. I just play. We've prepared against other, professional and premier teams, so we have had plenty of time to practice playing whoever. Doesn't really matter who we're playing.
Yeah. So you played. So you used Flash That Who's a sub for you in the regular season, and you replaced him. You replaced ENF who had to move. Was that a really big disadvantage of you coming into this LAN in terms of preparation?
In terms of preparation, definitely. I think Flashstep is a very good. I mean, he'll do his job, even if we don't have like the preparation necessarily. He has the experience, and he's been to plenty of LANs and all that stuff.
So you played Dust 2, 16-14, super exciting game. You played out of your mind. First of all, how'd you feel about Dust 2 as a pick?
As a team, we're actually not very good on Dust 2, so it was kind of a shaky, like, oh crap, it's Dust 2 kind of thing. But I mean, I personally am either like on fire or not on fire on Dust 2, just in general. So I was okay with it. Team wasn't very happy with it, but we just went in and did what we had to do. So
Nice. So you were down 5-1 in the beginning, and then Flashstep got an insane spray down, 3K. And it kind of like lit a fire under you guys, it felt like, because after that you guys came back like 5-5, cut the second half, you win the pistol, and then on T side, where you're just feeling super confident, you're already starting to have really big impact. So how does the rest of the game work with you being the opera and having so much impact? What is Fox calling for you?
I mean, honestly, a lot of it is just we saw where their weaknesses were and exploited them. Fox is an insane caller, like off the get-go. He's a really good kind of plug-and-play caller.
Yeah.
So he doesn't necessarily have like set strats on Dust 2, but like once we get a pick somewhere, we're going. We're done. And the team just trades really well with each other. Yeah. We have very good, quick play. But yeah, he's very quick about getting info out and, you know, getting us to follow what he's doing. So.
On that last round, where it came down to the last second, where Flashstep got that kill, ensured the round, we had, I think, 3 players from Splyce who were like inside B, like pretty sure it was going to be a mid-B split, and they're holding long control. Did Fox like just want to go A again because you guys were better at A, or was he worried about like a 2-on-2?
He was worried more about, he wanted us to just go with what we were doing, like the whole half. At the beginning of the round, he thought where I called that like 2 crossed, and then I saw a third one cross later in the round. So I was just kind of like, there might be 3B right now. I'm not 100% sure. And then like, we just kind of decided to take long control, and we got up long and got a little too close. Yeah. There was a lot of fail sprays going on, but whatever works.
Were you worried a little bit when you didn't see anybody coming up cat?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was sitting there, like, behind the mid doors, if you guys were watching. I have no idea where the camera was, but I was sitting behind the mid doors, and I was like, there's nobody cat. I have no idea what's going on, and I decided to flank CT, and I saw 3 CT, and from that point on, it was just kind of like everybody running out and trying to spray and get the kills, so it was pretty sporadic and crazy.
But pretty much the best game we've seen today. Is just super exciting. There was like a 1v5 situation where you just like dropped your op immediately, and from there I was like, man, you have clarity of mind right now. You know, you're on fire, but immediately like they can get this op and throw this away. So you don't have any nerves like coming into the LAN. Just I mean, not specifically because who you're playing, but because of the setting, because of any of the conditions.
I mean, there's definitely a little bit of the shakiness at the start, but you know, once you start playing, it's just another game. You're just playing games. Having fun with friends, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's sweet. So how do you feel about your odds in the minor overall for the rest of the teams here?
Good. I mean, I think that was one of the better teams in the tournament. Obviously, enemy is insane. We've scrimmed against them plenty of times, and it's been pretty ugly. So tomorrow, I think we play against them. We'll see how that goes. But other than that, I think we'll be okay. Okay.
So you say enemy or your most feared competition. What about Obey, or what about I guess Obey, enemy, and Optic?
Oh yeah, Optic for sure. Yeah. They're just not in our group, so I wasn't really thinking about them. Right. But Obey, I don't know much about. I know Slemmy is an insanely good strat caller. I don't know much about the rest of them other than DSR. I've played on a team with him very temporarily. I don't know how they play necessarily as a team, so I'm not sure. But obviously, Optic is probably the favorite to win the whole thing. So
kind of a dark horse there. Well, good luck in your matches tomorrow.
Thank you.
Great performance today.
Thank you.
This has been Virtus, and we'll cut to commercial and get back right to the analyst desk while we get to Splyce versus EasyGG.
Join us.